Beloved in Christ, once again, we come to celebrate the feast and the season of Christmas. This is a very special time of the year. It's a time when we have festive gatherings with family and friends. This is a time when we pause to hear the message of hope and happiness, which is the essence of the Christmas story. This message, as preserved for us in the Gospel of Luke, is proclaimed at midnight Mass, and these are some of the words it announces. Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to those on whom his favor rests. In grasping the meaning and significance of this message, we reach back in time to the prophet Isaiah. He assures us that the people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Upon those who dwelt in the land of gloom, light has shone. This is certainly a message of hope, for there is nothing more inviting than a ray of light when we are lost in darkness. There are few things more desirable than a source of brightness to offset our gloom. We have certainly had our share of gloom over the past few years, with a persistent pandemic weighing down upon us. Even now, with the situation beginning to ease a bit, one still hears talk of a triple-demic. The gloom which visits our lives from time to time can be unkind to hope. The darkness we experience can have so many points of origin. It could be a global pandemic. It might be the sudden and unexpected sad news about the health of a relative or friend, or even about our own health. A family tragedy could shroud us in darkness. The failure in business or career can cast a shadow of gloom over us. So too can rejection and betrayal in relationships. This Christmas, we cannot forget the pall of darkness cast over our community by the unacceptably high number of murders this past year. Surely darkness can overshadow us in many ways and shapes and forms. Whatever the nature of the darkness and gloom which might overshadow us, however, the words of the prophet Isaiah are intended precisely for us. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Upon those who dwelt in the land of gloom, a light has shone. A glimmer of that light is felt in the fact that we were spared the destructive force of hurricanes this year, even though we did have a very close call. The words of the prophet Isaiah are echoed with greater fullness in the gospel, where it says, "Today in the city of David, a son has been born for you, who is Messiah and Lord." This is the message of Christmas. And to elaborate it even further, we find these words in the letter to Titus. "The grace of God has appeared, saving all and training us to reject godless ways and worldly desires, and to live temperately, justly, and devoutly in this age, eager to do what is good." This joyful and hopeful message is the story of Emmanuel, God's presence in our midst. We are told this, let us put it very simply: humanity needs God, otherwise we remain without hope. And the horizon of hope must not just be an idea. It must be a guiding and motivating force in our lives. The Christmas story is about a family, the Holy Family. So we are not merely thinking of family at this time. Rather, we are committing ourselves to good, strong, healthy family life. After all, healthy family life is the basis of a healthy society. Indeed, in a healthy family, we experience some of the fundamental elements of peace, namely justice and love between brothers and sisters, the role of authority expressed by parents, loving concern for the members of the family who may be weaker because of their youth or their sickness or their old age, mutual help in the necessities of life, and the readiness to accept others, and if necessary, even to forgive them. Glory to God in the highest is the song of the angels at the first Christmas. And in our worship we sing that great song of praise most Sundays throughout the year. Surely this is a reminder that the spirit of hope and joy and generosity which we associate with Christmas should remain with us all year round. Let us keep before us the reality that Christmas is not just a commercial or secular event. It is primarily a religious celebration. It is a celebration of God sharing our world, sharing our condition, sharing our human nature, and then giving us all a dignity beyond measure. In Christmas, the infinite has come to us in the form of an infant. This causes us to look at everyone and respect their dignity. St. Martin of Tours was a 4th century monk and bishop who had previously been a soldier. One day, while mounted on his horse, he noticed a destitute man by the roadside, ill-clad and shivering from the cold. Martin took his own cloak, and using his sword, he cut the garment in half and gave half to the beggar to warm himself, and kept the other half for his own warmth. That night, in a dream, Christ appeared to Martin, dressed in the half-cloak, and saying to Martin, "I was naked, and you clothed me." Yes, Christmas is a time to realize that Christ comes near to us in other persons too. The message of Emmanuel, God with us, has many dimensions. The Christmas carol, O Holy Night, which we know so well, gives us but one more example. Written in 1843, it reflects the birth of Jesus as the redemption of humanity. The third verse of the carol has a powerful anti-slavery theme. Its abolitionist message is clear when it says, "Truly, he taught us to love one another. His law is love, and his gospel is peace. Chains he shall break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease." Yes, Christmas invites us to realize that Christ comes to us in the presence of persons whom we may least expect. Let us remember to make the sacred liturgy the high point of our Christmas celebration. Once we do that, all the other dimensions of the feast and the season find their true meaning and significance. So let us celebrate Christmas for the duration of the liturgical season. Christmas does not end with Boxing Day. The Christmas season ends with the feast of the Baptism of the Lord, and that will be January 9th this time around. So feel free to keep your Christmas decorations up until then. The work of Christmas must happen all year long. In essence, that means doing all that we can to build our families, our communities, and our nation into places of caring, compassion, concern, and commitment for the well-being of all. May the favor of God come to rest upon each of us this Christmas day, my dear friends, and remain with us always. And to each and every one of you, a warm Merry Christmas.